Welcome to another episode of The Jasmine Tea, where we give you piping hot commentary on your favorite blackity black shows. I'm your host, Jasmine, and today I'll be recapping Euphoria Season 2, Episode 7. Piping hot moment number 1. It is opening night for Lexi's play, Our Lives. Our good sis Lexi is doing the work of the Lord, calling out all of the scandalous acts and deeds of her classmates, and I just want to say that I'm here for it. So the play begins at Rue's dad's funeral, which is a bit jarring at first because it's like, dang girl, you putting all our business out there like that, but she is straight from the jump. And it really chronicalizes their friendship. So I feel like the star of this play and even this episode was Rue and Lexi's friendship, which we heard about, some last season, got to see a bit. But basically, once Euphoria started, Rue was already on drugs. Lexi was still doing her thing. So they were pretty disconnected from the start. So it was pretty exciting this episode to get to see some of the good old days when they were friends, hanging out and kicking it on rooftops. Cassie and Nate attend the play together as a couple. Remember at the end of the previous episode, he called her and was like, hey sis, pack a bag. You can come live with me. I'm going to pick you up in 10 minutes. So Cassie and Nate have been together, all of this time since then. We feel like it's been a few months since Rue made a statement and said that she hadn't talked to Jules since the incident, like since this whole intervention thing. And we heard that Lexi has been talking to Fez every day for the last few months. So yeah, Cassie and Nate are at the play together, looking all coupled up. Cassie is now the blonde version of Maddy. Everything from her bone straight hair, her little eyeliner makeup, the little swoop, the little cat eye swoop that Maddy always does, the shimmery, glittery eyeshadow. She just looks like a blonde Maddy, and it's really sad to see her lose herself so much in Nate. We also get to see that Lexi's mom is loving the whole thing. It was very reminiscent of Mean Girls when Tina Fey was like in the aisles, getting her groove on, when the girls were doing their Jingle Bell Rock dance. Lexi's mom is all here for it. I don't even think she realizes that they're making a joke out of her character in the show. It don't matter. She loves it, and she's supporting her baby. We also see that Rue is absolutely loving it. She's cracking up. She's giving some oh my gods. So I mean, it's all a lot, and a great deal of it is about her addiction, and some of the trauma she's been through with her father's death. So I mean, if she's having a good time, who else can really complain? There were some jokes being made on Twitter about what the budget for this play had to be, because baby, it had everything from lights to staging. I mean, the stage was like turning around and rotating at some points. There was glitter. There was dancing. I mean, it was just all the theatrics. And somebody was like, I see why they ain't got no teachers, because the whole budget went on this play. I get that. Is the high school actually called Euphoria High School, y'all? I don't think so, but I have also never paid attention. What is that high school called? One critical thing we see while the play is going on is that Fez's seat is empty. So Fez is like getting dressed for the show. We know he has every intention of attending, but his seat is empty. We will talk a little more about that later. Piping hot moment number 2, Cassie is now Nate's sub. Basically, he's the dom and she is the oh so willing and I'm ready for it sub. She looks like Maddy. She's talking like Maddy. It's like she's completely forgotten herself and sacrificed her own identity and well-being simply to be loved and chosen, accepted by Nate, or someone really, but it's Nate at the moment. And that's really the only thing we can say about them. Nate didn't really speak this episode. But Ethan, who played Nate in the play, right? So Ethan is playing Nate, totally stole the show. Give him his Emmy. What do people get for plays? Oscars? I don't know. Give him his award now. Give him all the things. There was one scene in particular that really stole the show. It was a football locker room scene, and it basically like broke out into this musical moment where the guys were like dancing, jumping, singing, doing all of these dance moves where they were like grinding on each other, smacking ass and all that. It was basically just about how like on the outside these dudes seem all macho and high and mighty, but on the inside they really just love each other and probably want to date each other as well. So it was just shining a light on their identity, like chipping away at this whole football players rule the school. I'm this big bad macho guy. Like, sir, let's really talk about some things. So Nate saw that scene and he got terribly upset, left out of the play. And when she follows him out of that play, he gets upset with her, storms around, and dumps her. He lets her know, like, hey, you need to get your stuff and get out of my house. I can't do this. It is over. And continues walking right on out the door. He's mad at her because he feels like if Lexi is your sister, you should have known this was coming. But Lexi must have had them people sign NDAs or something because there wasn't a peep around the school about what this play was about. At one point, people were joking, calling it Oklahoma, but I don't see how they didn't know what it was about, or at least have some type of idea. But it just goes to show the disconnection between Lexi and Cassie in that moment, and what's also reflected in the play. Throughout the play, Cassie is depicted as kind of like this dim-witted, blonde girl that's so obsessed with her looks and her body. And I mean, that's reality. And they have some moments that kind of show you, like, Lexi's over here, a little more straight and arrow, prim and proper, while Cassie's over here, doing the Barbie life thing. And that's fine. If you want to be a Barbie girl, be a Barbie. Just find a Ken that really loves you. Piping hot moment number 3, Fez doesn't get to attend the play. So all episode, like I said, we see Fez getting dressed. He's putting on a suit. Faye is in there steaming his shirt. He's trying to figure out, should I wear a tie? Should I not wear a tie? Do you think other people will think I'm handsome? He asked Faye. And so it's just a really exciting moment. We've been loving this brewing romance between Fez and Lexi this whole season. But of course, Faye and her boyfriend are lurking around on some bullshit. So Faye's boyfriend shows back up. Remember, he had previously let Faye know, like, hey, I'm working with the cops. We about to put the drop on Fez and Ashtray for Mouse's murder. So now he's finally come back around to their house and he appears to be recording them. They show him sit his cell phone down on the table. So I don't know if the cell phone is doing the recording or if he has on a wire because his shirt is kind of loose. He has on a jersey or whatever. But always tied and true, our boy Ashtray peeps some bullshit. So Ashtray sees Faye talking to her boyfriend and notices like they're whispering, looking kind of shysty. So what does he do? Grab a weapon. As usual. Ashtray is like, this the problem, I'ma eliminate it every single time. So he grabs a box cutter and just kind of hangs back, lurks around, and starts watching Faye's boyfriend. By the time the episode ends, we see Fez basically about to get ready to walk out the door. And Faye's boyfriend keeps asking about where he's going. Oh, you about to leave? As if he's trying to get some information. Ashtray's looking shysty, like, what the hell you asking for? And so we see Fez. It's basically like, yeah, I'm about to leave. Is everything good? Is everything cool? And nobody says anything. They kind of like look around at each other. So that leaves us on a cliffhanger moment of not knowing what is going to happen next episode. Is Ashtray just going to pop off and slit her throat? Is Faye going to confess that things are going down? Are the cops just about to bust through the door and take them all down immediately? We don't know. We also get left on a cliffhanger because after Nate dumps Cassie, she goes back to the auditorium and is like glaring angrily through the window as if she wants to bust in there and set some shit off. So we don't know. Is Cassie going to go in and ruin the play? What's going to happen with Fez and Ashtray? Are Faye and her man even going to make it out of the house? Very excited for the next and last episode so that we can get all of this information. I would love to interact with you. See you next week.